Ma'am, we are live now. Please start the session.
Thank you, Deepak. Greetings to everyone present here. Thank you for being with us today. I am Vatsala Khare from the Startup Incubation and Innovation Center at IIT Kanpur, where I lead the mentorship program. I have my colleague Mr. Vishesh Shukla along with me. Vishesh is an expert for the AI ML domain in our incubator and also handles the relationship of the incubator with the UP government for benefit of the startups. I once again thank you all for joining us today for this important session on basics of angel investment. This session is designed to provide valuable insights into the world of angel investing, a crucial funding source for many early stage startups. Our speaker for today is Mr. Amit Shukla. He brings an extensive experience in the startup ecosystem and will cover essential topics such as what angel investors look for in the startups, how to prepare your startup for angel investment, the process of securing an angel fund, very importantly, the common pitfalls to avoid when seeking investment. Amit sir has been associated with our center as a mentor. He actively guides startups towards their growth. He is also the co-founder and CEO of EasyGolf. He embodies several key traits that have contributed to his success. He is a visionary. He aims to use technology to bridge the gap between citizens and government services, making welfare schemes more accessible. He is innovative. Sir leverages AI and data analytics to simplify the complexities of availing government grant benefits. He identifies challenges faced by individuals in accessing public services and develops technology-based solutions to address them. Sir Sir is socially committed. He focuses on empowering marginalized communities to ensure that they receive the welfare benefits they are entitled to. Mr. Amit is persistent. He navigates the regulatory landscape of government services and determines in this space and he has a determination that this space is commendable. He is a transformative leader where he understands how digital tools can revolutionize public service delivery. These qualities highlight his blend of social consciousness and business acumen, making him an influential figure in the civic tech space. I welcome you, Amit sir, to take over the session now. I encourage everyone to make this session more interactive and useful for them. Please share your questions in the chat box. If anyone wishes to engage in a dialogue with our speaker, feel free to raise your hand and we will unmute you. Let's start the session today. Welcome you, Amit sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishesh Shukla. Thank you, Vatsala. Thank you, everyone who has joined in. Thank you for having me here. The topic is very interesting, angel investing. What we will do, we will talk like roughly 20 minutes, 25 minutes on the few concepts, and then I will open up for the question and answers. But I still encourage you that if you have questions in between, take a note of that, and we will take it because we will have a lot of time, half an hour kind of a thing to discuss that. Okay, so before we get into anything, who are angel investors, right? Why they invest? So you have to understand their psychic, their personality, their traits, their motivation in their life. So word says angel. Angel is like someone who will like drop from the air, will going to help you. Right? So we always want angel in our life, not in fact only from an investment point of view, but even in personal life, we want an angel. Who is an angel? Angel is something that who has a low expectations from you, but is still willing to support you. Is it true for the angel investing world? This is what we're going to explore. Angel investors are usually HNI, maybe or may not be. All the HNIs may not be the angel investors. what is their motivation for the investment? This is the most important thing that we need to understand. So I think that there are 3-4 things. First, social recognition. They have achieved something in their life. Now social recognition is something that there is no end to it. Everybody wants social recognition more and more. So one reason of angel investing is that the angel investors need social recognition. Why it is important for you to know that? Because if your startup has something that is a out of the world, very innovative, very transformative, changing the world, changing the life of the people, right? Then their brand will get associated with that, your startup brand. That will give the boost to their own brand. That will give them the required push, right, in the self-actualization layer or a social recognition layer. So the first thing that you have to understand, they invest social recognition. Second, money multiplier. They have a lot of money and they have a lot of avenues. They can invest in mutual fund, even a stock market. If you have a right stock, you can target it. The stock market is giving return of like a 3x, 4x in a year time. I've seen one of the angel investors whom I was talking, and I was discussing one idea that this is very revolutionary. This is the AI, blah blah, and this is whatnot. So all said and done, Amit, I invested in this company that is in a green tech at the time of a pre-IPO, and I got a 17x return in 2 years. Why should I put my money into the riskier bet when a small scale company in the share market is giving me the better return? If the company is listed company or a public company, that means the government has done the due diligence. The SEBI has done the due diligence. So my risk of investing, there is a company, I was going through that profile of a company. It's hardly a 70 crore company. Net worth is 70 crore. Less than many of the startup who raise money at the Series A round. But it's a public company. There is an IPO, right? So people have the option to invest there as well. Why will they invest? What is their motivation? So I said that first thing that I have talked about the social recognition. The second is money multiplier. How much money multiplier? In how much time? So obviously it is not in a percentage. It is a multiplier. That means 10x, 20x, 40x. In how much time? 3 year, 5 year, or maybe 7-8 year window, right? So that's the second motivation, that is a money multiplier. But money multiplier in the tune of 10x, 20x. If you're not able to tell that your company will grow to 10x, 20x in the next 3 years, they will not be interested in investing in you. Because for their money, they have better avenues. That is less riskier and more confirmed return. So we know the investment, right? It's purely a game of risk versus return. Higher the risk, higher the return. Lower the risk, lower the return. So a startup is a high risk game. That means the return should be also proportionately very high. So I'm expecting a return in the tune of 10x, 20x, 40x in a period of 2 to 3 years. That is what the angel investor look into in terms of return of the money. I will not leave, right, another category of angel investor that is called impact angel investors. They are looking for a social impact, social drive. Their expectation may not be 20x, 30x, or a 40x return. But if your idea, your venture is doing something that is good for the society, it will make this world a better place to live. It is not only for a profit oriented, but it is also helping some SDGs, some environment related issues, changing the society fabric, right? Making this world a better place to live by working on the issues that is not very attractive from a business point of view. So they are not looking for a 10x, 20x, 40x return. They are looking for a decent return on a capital. What I mean to say, if I will invest into the stock market, I will get 35-40% return on investment if I have a good portfolio. Indian mutual fund market is giving that kind of a return. They are okay. They are settling with that kind of a return. But they want the KPIs, social indicator KPIs, to be matched with this return. So for example, if you say that I will improve the water quality, or I will make the tomato less cancerous by using some technology right? So not only the farmer will earn more income, but there will be less of a cancer because of the my technology that I have built for growing tomatoes. Right? They say that, okay, what is your social indicator KPIs? How much do you have a real data? Do you have a real evidence that how much tomato contributes to the cancer? How much the death that occurs because of the cancer? With the product, your product in 2 to 3 years now, with what kind of a consumption it will reduce the risk by what probability? What are the chances of reducing the risk? So then there is social impact. Similarly, right, Delhi, we always struggle. The time is here now around the corner with the air pollution, where many people suffer because of asthma, the bad air quality. So they may like to ask that, okay, with your technology, how much AQI improvement you will bring? If the Delhi AQIs in this month are usually, let's say, 250 and 300, if you are a technology that is helping directly or indirectly to clean up the air, what is the impact that you're going to bring by 5%, 10%, 20%? So if your social impact indicators are very high, they are okay with the lesser return. But if your social impact are not very high, I usually find founders getting confused between the for-profit and social impact. They want to sell the stories, both the stories in one go. Don't do that. There are different people who will invest into the social impact startup and for the profit. For the profit is socially aware. They are not enemy, but their motivation is 10x, 20x. Right? If I ask all the tech companies who are making digital public, for example, right, we all use Reel. How much social impact it brought? People will say, oh, it's a tool for empowerment of a people. Many people from the villages got the visibility, right? They are able to share their talent. Someone is singing, dancing, and people are watching them. Some people are getting the opportunity. It's a social impact platform. Is it really? It is not a social impact platform. If you go to the investor and make this pitch, it will not going to fly. That is a icing on the cake. That is a topping on the pizza. It is not the pizza. The pizza is that what the valuation will be of this company after 2 years. So be clear in your mind. You are for profit or for social impact. If you are a for profit, social impact is a icing on the cake. If you are for social impact, the profit is icing on the cake. So you have to understand what is the startup. Don't mix both of them. This I'm telling you with my personal experience as well. Always keep social work, social venture different from the for-profit venture. So to sum it up, I said there are three traits that you have to look into the angel investors. What they look for: social recognition, return on the money, social impact. You have to fit your story in these three things. Then only they will be attracted and they will be interested in your startup. Okay. Now we have to understand what kind of a return and when the return they are expecting. I've told you that they're expecting a return of a 10x, 20x, and 40x, but when? So there are only three ways for an exit for the angel investors. One, a bigger round, like Series B, C, D, where the larger investor is coming and they want to clean up the share cap table. Because when you're doing angel investing, you will take 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees, and you will take it from 20, 25 people and all of them on your share cap table. So when I did my Series A, I had a 35 angel investor on my share cap table. So when the larger investor will come, they will say that, okay, for the any board approval, I have to get this sign off, let's say all the shareholders. And if I have 35 people, I have to convince 35 people for any business decision that I'm going to take. That is very cumbersome. So when the large investors come, they want to consolidate the decision making. They want to make the decision making easy. It should not become very cumbersome, that getting a buy-in every time for a 35 people or a 40 people, if you have share cap table, it is difficult. So that is a one way of getting the exit. When the larger investor comes, they want to consolidate the share cap table. They ask this angel investor that, do you want to exit? Angel investor may or may not be. But usually angel investor will exit because their game is high risk and a high return game. After that, your company is stable. It is not their game, that it is a now game of a venture capitalist. It is now the game of an institutional investor. They will going to play that game with you. Angel investor will take an exit and will go away at that stage. Second way of exit is for the any investor, not only for the angel investor, is IPO. So when you are presenting, there are two ways. There is a third way as well. That is a hypothetical that company will buy back. So I will not get into that. But there are only two clear ways of exit. One is getting bought in the further rounds or getting for a company going for an IPO. So if you not give them the hint of any of these two things, they will be worried that when will I get a return? It is okay that I will get a 30x return, 40x return, but when will I get a return? So you will say, you will get a return in 2 to 3 years. How will I get a return in 2 to 3 years? Are you going to raise a larger round? Will you go for an IPO? And if you're not able to answer both the questions, they may not be interested doing the angel investment. Angel investment is a game, a very early game, right? And here I would like to tell you one very important concept that is called jockey versus horse. If you know the this race course, right? When this race happens, whom will you invest on? Let's say you have 10 horses, and you know this horse is the best horse. And then you have 10 jockeys sitting on each of the every horse, and you know that this jockey is the best jockey. Some people will go for a jockey. Some people will go for a horse. Some people may try a chance with a mediocre horse and a mediocre jockey, right? That's why you will receive the bet on all 10 horses. That is where the angel investment psychic is. The angel investor is investing. Some angel investors love to invest into the jockey, but it doesn't mean that the horse is not important. Horse. So let me break this analogy. Here, horse means your product or a service that you are building in your startup. Jockey means the founder, you. Okay. So some people may be interested purely in a horse, but it doesn't mean that the jockey is not important. Similarly, vice versa, some people may love to invest on a jockey, but it doesn't mean horse is not important. But still, there are angel investors who just invest in jockey. Oh, ye banda, this guy is wonderful. He will do something in his life. If this idea will not click, he will do something else. His passion, his energy that he brings on the table, his commitment, right, is fabulous. He will definitely going to do something great in the life. And I want to associate myself with this person. That is a bet on a jockey. The horse was understood, but the bet was placed on a jockey. Second is, oh, this horse is so beautiful. This product is so beautiful. This service is so great that this will going to hit the IPO or an exit in 3 to 4 years. And jockey has to be good to drive this. And I found that if jockey will not do, but if jockey takes this horse to this stage, right, still there is a game. It can be worked out. So those are the people who invest more on a horse. And this concept is very important because you have to understand when you go for a series A and series B, then horse becomes important than jockey. Because then your product is in the market. You are serving the customer. People want to know how is your product? What is the return on capital that your product is giving? What are the unit economics? What are the margins? What are your strategy to, what is your moat to play a monopoly game in the market? Right? How are we going to create a differentiation? All these things becomes more important than the founder profile. Okay. Okay. Now, another important question that I usually hear from the people is how much money we should raise. Okay. The better question is how much money the angel investor will give, and how to identify that number, right? So, as I've told you, that the purpose of angel investment is to make company ready for a series A. Let's say you're planning to do a series A in 2 years. Or let not me make it a time bound. Let me say there are the business metrics that you want to achieve, right, to do the series A. For example, once I will, in particular geography, I will start serving these many customers and I will have this much revenue. Then probably my company valuation would be this, and then I will raise a series A. Obviously, you have some mechanism of valuation in your head, and the angel investor wants to know that when you will do a Series A and at what valuation. So you have to do some math, right? Like I'm doing right now, let's say a 50 lakh revenue, I will do 5 crore revenue. So because of the 10x growth in the revenue, my company valuation will go by 15x or 20x up. Or I will not do any revenue, but right now I have these many active users on my platform. In 1.5 years and 2 years, I will have 100x more active users on my platform. Whatever the business matrix is, based on that matrix at the Series A round, at what valuation you're going to raise money. They are not there to fund your company for eternity. They are there to fund you, to help you to raise Series A. So the money they will decide based on the parameter that you have put in front for raising a Series A. How much money is required? The money has to be broken down into the like manpower and everything. So this is what I say business case. You have to build a business case of 3 to 5 years of your company, even if you're raising an angel investment. Why? Because this will give the confidence to the angel investor that after 2 to 3 years, what revenue you will be doing and at what valuation roughly you will be raising the next round of a Series A. The valuation that they are investing, the valuation that you will be raising into 2 years or 1.5 years from now, that is a jump in their money that they are invested in your company. Why it is important for a 5 year? Because it gives some thinking, some confidence that the founder is thinking a long term, right? They are thinking that what they will want to do beyond a Series A. Don't get very touchy with your business case. Whatever you think, because you will want to learn very fast. Your business case will evolve very fast. But whatever you think right now is correct, you will be doing for next 5 years, document that and present to your angel investors. Later on, after a year or so, after 6 months, you can change your business case based on the market result. It is a dynamic document. You don't create a business case for angel investment. You create a business case to run your company. Most of the people, when I talk to them, they say that I'm going to raise money. Please tell me how to make a business case so that it helps me to raise a money at a good valuation. I said, no, the whole philosophy is wrong. You're not running a business case to raise investment. You're running a business case to run your company. And after that, you divide the cash deficit. That, okay, this is a revenue that I'm going to do in next 2 years. And this is a cost of a company. And this is a deficit, right? That I have to fund. That becomes the amount that you are raising in the angel round. And you can justify that amount because you can justify the revenue, you can justify the cost, then you can justify the difference. Angel investor may ask to break this into the smaller pieces, right? Like half and half and do a partly. But those are the things for a negotiation. But if you are able to convince them that what is the minimum amount that you need to raise to go Series A, right? That is the amount that will get locked. Second important concept, at what valuation? Now I know the amount. The amount may be differ from a company to company, depending upon the business case. But now the very important question is, at what valuation? Usually, the thumb rule is the dilution at the angel round may happen somewhere between 10 to 25. So mean is roughly like 15% dilution. 10, if you are very lucky, right? And then you may get a 10% dilution. It also depends upon the kind of a product you are building, kind of a service you are building, kind of a founder you are. And second thing is sorry, I lost the track. So I was talking about at what value, at what dilution, 10 to 25%. So if it is a very aggressive and they liked it, they loved it, there is a FOMO in the angel investor that I will miss out this opportunity if I'll not invest it, and you have a competitive offer from some other angel investor, you may get 10% dilution. You can close the round at 10% dilution. But if that's not the case, it may go up to 25%. But 10 to 25% is the ideal thing. You should settle somewhere between a dilution between 10 to 25% in the angel round. Who should be your angel investors? If you're lucky and you have an option to have multiple angel investors, try to identify the person who is from your industry, who understands the industry very well, and at least can help into two things. What is the role of a company? To get money into the company, right? What is the role of a founder? To get money either from a customer or from an investor. Period. This is the only role of a founder, to bring money in the company. Get it from the investor or a founder. Sorry, from investor or a customer. So your angel investor should help you to either get an investment in the next round or to get a customer. That is your ideal angel investor. How will you want to judge that? Whatever you are doing, what is your target customer segment? What is your target market? Is your angel investor belong to the same market? Can he open or she open the door? If yes, obviously, right, the person is a great angel investor for you. So these are the thing that you should look out into the angel investing. I think I will take one more thing and then probably I will stop because we will exactly half of our this thing open up for question and answers. How to find the angel for you, right? So I told you the trait and everything, but how to find? So there is a famous, infamous story from a Taj, but that is very true for angel investing and the founder like you. When the attack happened in the Mumbai, in Taj Hotel, there were, I think, thousands of rooms, there were roughly 1,000 rooms. And every room had the probability of having a terrorist, having a hostage, or a guest, a terrorist, a guest, or a guest with a terrorist, that means hostage situation. When they knock the door, they don't know what is inside the room. The commandos who are going through this operation. But the thing was, when they knock the door, nobody will open the door because even if there is only guest, they have a fear that the knock may be from the terrorist. The hostage with terrorist obviously will not open the door. Terrorist will obviously open not the door. And when they break the door, in a fraction of a time, they have to decide to shoot or not to shoot. Because if they don't shoot, they get shot. If they shoot, they may end up shooting a guest. So in the fraction of a time, they have to take a call and they have to execute. After they found the guest, they have to go to the next door, open the another room. And this is, I'm telling you, a true story. It is not like a fabricated story. When opening the door, they have to take the same precautions what they did in the first door, because it doesn't matter what was there in the last door. It was a terrorist or a guest or a hostage situation. The next door is as new as the first door was. So they have to do with the complete precision, with the complete energy, with the complete accuracy. So these rooms are for you, the angel investors. And you are right now the commandos. You are the NSG guards, NSG commandos. You have to open the door of every angel investor with the same passion and a commitment and energy. And you will get this much only amount of a time to engage with the angel investor. If you can engage with the angel investor, you will make the story. If you want, go ahead, no problem. Open the next door. There are thousands of the door available. You will not lose your angel investing if you get a no from angel investor. You will lose it once you will stop opening the door. There are thousands of the door. One door has angel investor for you. You have to just keep opening that door. With that, right, I will take a pause and we will open up for the question and answers.
So, sir, I see two questions here. One is by Bhuvan. If my work has both social impact and profit orientation, what are the key points to decide the priority?
Very good question, but a difficult one to answer because I don't know what your business is, right? But the idea is, if you have to decide on one, and I'm not giving you the option to decide both, what will you decide? Do the fear analysis. If you are saying that I will give the return of a 10x, 20x, and I also make a societal change that will be huge. It is a story that has no precedence as such, unfortunately, right? So you have to very carefully decide that what brings you, what is the more. I understand, right? And it's not a 0-1 game. Every company has to do social impact, right? Even the largest corporate houses like Reliance or a Tata Group, Tata, right? You know that they're the most of the profit goes into Tata Trust that does a social work. But will you say Tata as a company, not Tata Trust, is a for-profit or social impact company, right? Tata Trust is doing social impact, but the real business is to make money. Don't get confused, right? Infosys, if that would have been the case, none of these companies would have running their own foundations. Microsoft has a foundation, right? You know, BMGF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Dell has a foundation. Why are they running a foundation if both social impact and a business can run into the same legal entities? Reliance has a foundation. So it sounds good, but it is a utopian concept that I will do both. Okay, so you have to decide. Pranav, I don't know. Does it help? You can raise hand or you can say yes.
Yeah, Pranav, you can raise your hand. We will unmute you till the time. Okay. Deepak,
Bhuvan, sorry,
please,
Bhuvan. This was from
please unmute Bhuvan. Sir, Bhuvan has a smart water management device company.
okay. So Bhuvan, you have to decide, and I will always encourage go for profit. Let
Okay.
social impact be the icing on the cake. Let's not make it a cake.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Means
Sell is an extra point.
okay. Shall I speak?
Yeah, please go.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I got your point, and thank you for explaining it. So with the examples of Tata Trust and Infosys, means what I understood is that the business is to be for profit. The profit that comes that could be used for the social impact.
Perfect.
So,
First become a millionaire.
yeah.
Then do
Okay.
charity.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Once you will become a billionaire, we will do more charity.
Just a point that sometimes that in order to when we are working on such sector, like I work for water conservation, so most of my the activities that I do, those are actually related to social impact. The social media activities that I do, those are related to awareness and related to social impact and awareness. So how could that be? Suppose I have the brand name Flota, it becomes I have one another organization that is known as Flota Foundation, suppose. So those activities that I do for social awareness, they actually help me building up my brand as well.
And that's okay. That's okay. But I'm saying that you can build your brand with for-profit business as well. And again, go with the precedence, right? Google, Microsoft, none of us doing these things in parallel. They all were making money, just making money. Till the time
Okay.
founder became a billionaire, right? The company
Okay.
became the unicorn or maybe even above that. Right?
Okay.
Look at Nikhil Kamath, our own Indian story. He
Yes.
runs
Yes.
a wonderful what is called rainwater, right? That is a social impact initiative. But
Mhm.
at what stage?
Mhm.
Right? You are a kind of we don't want to put the responsibility of a society on your shoulder while you are building a business. We will definitely put that once you are a billionaire.
Okay.
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 Let's
Thank you.
go to like a business metrics or a plan in a document. Can we get an investment metrics in a document to prepare? No, the business case is a simple document. The business is, if you don't have a right business case, right, I will encourage to reach out to SIIC. They have a business case template and everything that you can get. There is no document for an investment metrics. It's a business case only that includes the metrics that is required for an investment, because the investment will happen on your business case, and business case has both the financial and non-financial metrics. Okay, Pranav, you can ask a follow-on question if you want. Okay, Then I
Okay,
mean,
so please unmute Amit Chauhan ji. Okay, till the time he is unmuted, there's another question by yeah,
will-
okay. So unmute Pranav also. Yes,
So Pranav
please.
here, can I speak?
yeah,
Yes.
please.
Okay, so you have answered a previous question. My another question is basically related to our business case. We work into solid waste management. So can you just briefly put some light on how startups from this domain can, I mean, what we should ideally seek
Yeah,
while
solid
raising the investment? Yeah,
is a very interesting field, right? And I love the way Nitin Gadkari, right, talks about the waste management. And you must be listening to him, right, on the waste management. So I firmly believe the philosophy that we have to make the money from the waste, right? There is no other way to manage the waste. Obviously, there are two ways. One, you reduce the waste. Second, you make waste useful. I'm not sure at what angle you are working in. You're reducing the waste or making waste
utilization. Yeah,
utilization, making waste of some use, right? That's a great way, right? But don't try to sell it as a social impact story, as I've told earlier.
Right.
Try to build a clear business out of it. That's a profitable venture. For you also, the social impact is the icing on the cake. Don't make that is your cake. Focus on purely on a business model. But obviously, if other person who's a purely for profit, their angel investor is looking for a 10x, 20x, 40x return. In your case, people maybe agree to invest in like 5x or a 10x return, half of the return. But your case will also not become a case where it is purely for a social impact, where people will look for a 35% kind of a return.
yeah, sir. Adding to that, my question itself, as you said, it should be clear business case. And after going through a lot of phases and things in the business case itself, we realized that the returns can be there definitely to some scale. However, when it comes to sell the product, the capex or the capital investment from the customer becomes a bit issue in the solid waste management, although government and other people are talking about it. So my question is, can there be any fund or source of sort of
Yes.
meaning from domestic
know,
or international sources
yes,
to
yes,
support
yes,
this gap?
definitely. There are many grants, and you understand the power of a social impact venture. Right? Social impact venture is still operating at a 35-40% margin, right? They are still not a trust or a foundation, they are still for profit. And they are working for 35-40% margin in the business. They are ideal business for institutional investors. The grants, loans, debentures are the perfect round for a social impact investors, social impact ventures. Prove it on a model, prove your unit economics. And if you need a high capital investment, right, go for grants and subsidies. And your best route would be the large social impact investors who have a for-profit initiative that has something to do with your social impact. What I mean to say is,
Got it.
I'm an oil and gas company. I'm a promoter for oil and gas company. I may be very much interested if someone is doing something to reduce the green gas emissions, right? Or doing something tree plantation. Because, I have some way, I've told you now what is there in the angel investor side. They have to create their own social awareness brand. If you're helping them to create that brand, though I'm running an oil and gas company, but I'm so much careful, take care of the environment, that I have done these many supported, this is a company particular that has done like millions of tree plantation. Something like that, right? That is the story.
Noted, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Then we have a Nilotpal in a country.
Yes, please. Nilotpal ko unmute kijiye. Yeah, Nilotpal, you can speak. We cannot hear you, Nilotpal. Okay, so he has a question. In a country where the increasing daily active users does not reflect in the increase the average revenue per user, what a startup should do to make sure while scaling to get global with the least capital or resource possible?
Yeah. So I think excellent question, Nilotpal. ARPU is a very important concept, and I think people who don't know these metrics, the people who are working for a B2C and especially in the tech, one thing that will be in your head day in, day out, 65 days, 24/7, that will be ARPU, right? Everyone will do, what is your ARPU? What is your average revenue per user? Right? So ARPU becomes, for a telecom company, the Geo story is all around the ARPU, right? Airtel ARPU, right? So the people who are into a retail business, direct consumer business, and into a tech, the ARPU is one KPI that makes them in and out. That becomes their life. If your business doesn't reflect into the ARPU, it has to reflect into the long-term ARPU, like Google. So here the game is, can you create a monopoly? Right now your ARPU may be zero or maybe negative. But can you create a monopoly? If you're building a Google map, your ARPU is negative. But you are saying that, you know what? 50, 60, 70% of the internet user who needs a map will be using my map. That's a monopoly. How does that monopoly works? You can price the monopoly with your wish. For example, right? I will take another example. This is an Android phone. Everyone, we are using the Android phone, right? We get Android free of cost. Did we answer any question in our life, right? Why did we get Android free of a cost? What is the ARPU in the Android for Google? Why are they offering? Are they social impact venture? They are for-profit company. Why are they running Android? Because Android has a Play Store in it. And in Play Store, to have your app, you have to pay 2,000 or 3,000 bucks every year to the Google. So if I have to use to the user, right, I have to pay Google at the price decided by the Google. It's a monopolistic pricing. If Google tomorrow decide to make it a 4,000 and you want to launch your app, you don't have a choice. Just think, what is your indirect ARPU now? The money that you are making from a Play Store, divided by the number of Android user, that is your ARPU. So your ARPU may be negative, your ARPU may be zero. But if you are playing a ARPU game, it has to be monopolistic game. And that need a huge capital investment. Unfortunately, the Indian angel investing is not very pro on that. You should look out more investors from the US, especially the California and the around, right, where people invest into the long, for example, WhatsApp kind of a business. It's difficult to get investors right now. Although I'm not saying India doesn't have those kind of angel investors, the market is picking up, but we don't have a very patience capital that can wait for 7-8 years, right, while you're building your ARPU model. What is that?
So the next question is from Aditya from Axel Group. They are saying that we have raised 60 lakhs pre-seed funding this year. We want to go global. Market is around 50 billion USD. When should we raise Series A or next round, and at what valuation and dilution?
A good dilemma to be in. First of all, congratulations for being there. Okay, so what you have to do, and this is another concept that I didn't talk about, but let me touch upon that. That is called narrow and deep. So you, till the time you don't acquire a significant market share of a particular geography, you should not diversify. Now, for example, I have launched a product and I am working in India as a geography, or maybe my state, or maybe a city as a geography. And I say that the total market is, let's say, 100 crore or 10 crore. The leader share, anything that is above 30%. The challenger share is anything that is around 10%. So till the time you don't have a 10% market share, don't diversify. Don't go look out into the another geography. You have to first get a 10% market share. You have an option to change your geography. If you think, no, I don't have much customers, my product is more meant for a metros, Bangalore kind of a city, go to Bangalore. No one is stopping you, right? So my suggestion to you is, as a country in India, first acquire double-digit market share. And if you think that India is not a right market for you, then don't do a parallel thing, right? That I'm opening up a new geography and continue building for India. then switch your focus to that geography. Your first geography should be a geography that should give you the 10% of a market share. Then only you can diversify. Right? Look at your own companies, Ola, Uber, Ola, when they started diversifying, going to the Southeast Asia and other places, they were owning 30-40% of a market share. But I said that, okay, maybe we are hungry and we want to more opportunistic. So my first target is a 10%. And the beauty of a 10% is once you will achieve 10%, you will see that I can get to 20% much easier than going to the geography outside India. So you will automatically go to 30%, you will saturate the current market, take a leadership position, then only you will diversify.
Okay.
Aditya, is that okay?
Yeah, Aditya is raising hand. Please unmute him. Yeah, Aditya, you
Yeah,
can speak.
Amajit, thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, sir, thank you very much for the insightful webinar. So basically, what is happening with us, we are into cybersecurity space and we are getting bit challenge in getting customers in India. Particularly, we got few customers, good customers in North, but now we are getting large customers in Southeast Asia, luckily.
Wonderful.
So we are
wonderful.
getting good traction from Thailand. We got Department of Thailand's airport and Navy, their Navy department. So yeah, you are right, but we are getting some good traction, acceptability as a brand outside rather than being an Indian company. Because
And then, yeah, and that's a great place to be in, right? And I would suggest acquire 10% market share of Southeast Asia. Stop focusing in India. Anyways, it is giving you lower return on your investment. Anyways, it is, as you yourself told me, right? It is
Yeah.
giving you less return on investment. So I will focus in Southeast Asia and I will try to acquire double-digit market share there first.
right. So
Or
in India,
if
we
I have
see.
to change my company location from here to Singapore, I will do that.
Okay. Yeah, we see the trend in India, like they prefer US-based companies for cybersecurity,
No,
but
Singapore
rather.
Singapore is also good geography,
Yeah.
right? In the next round, whenever you raise Series A, after getting a good traction in Southeast Asia market with your seed money, go for a Series A, and you may decide to be in Singapore.
Right, sure. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Aditya. The next question is from Ecliption Private Limited. If the startup has been found recently and the product is yet to go live, at what valuation the angel investor invest in the company? How should one decide that?
You have to go live. Okay, you are at an ideation stage.
Yeah.
Or you have a prototype. Can you unmute yourself? Do you have a prototype or it's a purely ideation?
I think it's a prototype state, sir.
Okay. If it is a prototype, then my next question would be, do you have some controlled users of your product?
Yes, they do have control users of the product.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So look, if you have these two things, you can go for angel investment. No problem with that, right? You have to decide the roadmap. What I said, that business case you have to build for 5 years. Build a business case for 5 years, right? What you want to aspire to be. And many things would be very imaginative, right? You may be thinking that I will diversify my product into this, I will do this, that. You may be having right now, let's say 10% of it, what you want to do in your life, or maybe less than 5% of what you really want to achieve with your company. But you have to paint that picture. And with that, right, you can go for an angel investment. Now, coming to your second question, the valuation. Valuation will depend upon how better you paint the picture. If your picture is very aggressive, right, is very good, you may raise your angel round for 10% dilution. Remember the rule 1. There are 2 things fixed. 1, the dilution between 10 to 25. Second, the investor will give you the amount based on your business case, not the valuation. Valuation you don't decide. Valuation is a byproduct, because if you agree for a 50% dilution and your business case says that 2 crore, do the math, find out the valuation. Never put a valuation on face of your prototype company. You can only decide 2 things: how much money you want to raise. Second, how much dilution you are willing to. Don't focus on valuation, right? Valuation is a byproduct that will come from these two variables. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, sir. The next question is, given the unique challenges and sensitivities associated with defense startups, including longer development cycles, regulatory hurdles, and potential national security considerations, how can we effectively communicate our value proposition to angel investors while addressing their potential concerns about these sector-specific risks?
Don't worry. The person who doesn't understand your sector will anyways not invest in you. And the person who understands the sector, he knows all the regulatory risk. So you're taking too much load on you. Find out. So don't focus on the angel investor who doesn't understand your sector. Anyways, you will not invest. And the person who belongs to the sector, he understands all this risks better than you. In fact, the more the risk, more the angel investor is interested in listening to you. That how will you navigate this risk? What is your USP? What is your innovation?
So Nilakpal has one other question. Yeah. India has 50 crores OTT subscribers and only 8 crores DMAT subscribers. What are your thoughts on Indian consumers' rationale behind signing up for subscriptions of a SaaS OTT or any platform with resource of utility?
India has 50 crores, only 8 crores DMAT subscribers. Yeah, this is interesting. I read these numbers recently. Someone published 10 important KPIs for India. What are your thoughts on Indians' customer rationale behind signing up for the subscription of a SaaS, OTT, or any platform? Yeah, so India changed the story a bit, and thanks to largely to the Jio for bringing down the data rate so cheap, right? And that brings the revolution in India. And what was the easiest thing to do with the lots of free and lots of data? Watch videos, right? So that's the reason, right? We have so many users, right, who watch videos, and we have a less of a DMAT subscriber because still we don't have a serious user on a tech, right? So I know my parents, right, or maybe other grandparents. What you will find that they are very comfortable in watching the videos, but they can't even perform a UPI payment. Watching a video is a much more easier thing. So it's not about the user readiness or anything. It is only about the cost dynamics and ease of watching, ease of use. What reel is like automatically one by one, the reel will start coming. I don't need to do anything. That's the reason I think you have this strange difference.
Thank you, sir. Bhuvan, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And my second question is that actually we are working for water conservation. So, most of the major client that we get is the government sector.
Okay.
And fortunately we have been able to get a few orders around worth 1 CR from the GEM.
Okay.
So, and we have even successfully delivered those orders.
Wonderful.
So now,
Congratulations.
what I have been finding it all these months and days that the investors or the angel investors who come, they're specifically skeptical about the persons who are working with government.
Yes, right. And the reason is because the government, unfortunately, is a very bad paymaster because it is into a tendering business, and tendering usually happens on a L1, or even if it is in a QCBS, then also the cost is a very important parameter. So I would strongly encourage, don't pivot your product, but pivot your business model to somewhere dealing it with the government.
Okay.
Right? We should ideally serve the government after a certain stage. If government is your only customer, it will be a nightmare for you to find an investor.
Okay.
And I'm speaking as a founder of EasyGov.
Okay. And that in addition to this, that so yes, we are also pivoting that way. We are doing with the private sector industry as well.
Wonderful.
We are going B2B for that as well. Now when we are searching for the investors, as you suggested that the first angel investor should be the one who understands your sector.
Right.
So, for our case, the most of the people who understands our sector are basically the contractors, the government contractors, big
No.
HNIs. Okay.
Yeah. They will not, right? So they may, I'm not saying no.
Mm-hmm.
If you on top of my head, right, I would suggest go for Social Alpha.
Sorry,
The
sir.
Social Alpha, the Tata Trust
Oh,
Initiative.
Social Alpha. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
go for that kind of an investor profile, right? There's
Okay.
another one that is called Avishkar, right? There's
Okay.
another one that is called I forgot the name. It's a very famous social impact investor, right? So go for those companies. They still invest.
Okay.
Ventures, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhuvan. Please unmute Dr. Sabapathy. Yeah, Dr. Sabapathy, please.
Yes. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Sir, I am into this menstrual hygiene sector. We are working for the development of biodegradable raw material solution for the pad converters. So we are ready with our product, and we done all the field trials and machine trials at different levels. Now my challenge is, even though we have our own manufacturing of unit, there is a branding and awareness to build in this sector to reach more number of customers. So even though we are come up with a pilot scale capacity, but the branding part is still a challenging. So how I can manage this branding part, whether I have to approach any angel investor for to build the branding, my branding for raw materials. So how I to manage that?
So first of all, it is a out of syllabus question, right? So today's class is on angel investing, and this is a not on angel. But anyways, right? Angel investor will not going to help you with this. Don't have so much high expectation with the angel investor.
Okay.
Angel investor can only help you to get two things, as I've told you earlier. His network becomes your network, right? Because the person is investing in you, the person wants a multiplier in their money. But that is also the person will do with a lot of a caution. It will not like open all the doors that those are connected with him or her, right? So I think the branding problem you have to solve yourself. Sorry to say that, right? For that, you may have a mentor in your company. Get a branding and a marketing mentor in your company, right? They may help you to solve this problem. Angel investor doesn't have a time, that much amount of a time, right? Remember, the person is a HNI, right? Remember, that person can play a bet of a 10 lakh rupees, right? Or a 20 lakh rupees within a call in 15 minutes or half an hour, right? How much that person must be earning? What will be the net worth of the person? What will be the cost of the time of this person? Think from that lens, right? Probably you'll get the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sabapathy. So the next question is, do you have? They want to know your views on battery-based renewable energy storage systems, probably in regard with the angel investment only.
Okay, before that, Vatsala, what was the time that we decided for this?
Yes, sir. We'll just take like 5 more minutes from you.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to, someone is waiting for another meeting to start. Anyways, so what was the question? Sorry.
So the question is your views on battery-based renewable energy storage systems.
I think this is a wonderful idea again, but again, I would say make a for-profit company. It's a very crowded space, very exciting space, a lot of opportunity over there, but your business model should be purely for profit. Don't get carried away with the social impact.
Sure.
That becomes a what do you say, a point of parity, right? It is no more a point of a differentiation for this segment.
One last question is, we have an angel round of investment. Since then, we have grown 3x in revenue.
Wonderful.
We would now like to raise the next round. Should we target the another angel round again, or it should be for VC? In other words, when it would be idea to pitch to VC? Is it our revenue or ticket size of VC?
a difficult one again, but and these are the questions that need a more deeper discussion,
Yes.
right? To give the answer. But anyways, I will try. I will give the thumb rule that might help. Go back to your business case. See your business case. What will you plan? What was your plan for to be achieved, both in terms of a revenue and the other key parameters, the KPIs? With the angel money, did you overachieve it, underachieve it, just achieved it? Okay. If you have achieved it or overachieved it or slightly underachieved it, go for a Series A. But if you have underachieved it, then you do a bridge. Right? For a bridge, you can go for a venture capitalist. Don't go for an angel round. It doesn't make sense. Go for try to find out a bridge, a fund or a venture capitalist that can bridge the round. Because the person will bridge the round will also take a ownership to get the Series A to you. Because the problem with the bridge round is usually happen on a debenture, not on equity. So the person will get his debenture converted into equity only after the next qualified round, that is a Series A. So this venture capitalist will help you to help in raising a Series A. Did I answer your question?
Yes. So any other questions you have, please, all of you have my contact number. You can text me or email me. I will try to get the answers with Amit sir. And yeah, now thank you so much, Amit sir. Vishesh, if you want to close the session.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this.
Vishesh, your voice is breaking.
Okay.
Vishesh, your voice.
Vishesh, it seems you have a bad network. So
yeah. So Vishesh, your voice is breaking. Deepak, please unmute him. Sorry, mute him. So thank you, Amit sir, and for delivering such a clear and insightful session on the basics of angel investment for our startups. It was a very, very needed session. Yeah, and this session must have provided a lot of clarity and practical knowledge, and also must have helped our entrepreneurs better understand the path of securing their investment and the key factors that they need to focus on during the critical phase of growth of their venture. So thank you all. We will be back with another exciting session for all of you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Amit sir, for your time. It's
thank you,
valuable.
thank you, SIIC. Thank you, Mr. Shukla. Thank you, everyone who joined in. And I really appreciate your time. And I'm wishing all you to very best. And I wish that all of you become unicorn. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a good day, everyone.